guys probably weren't expecting me to start a new series breaking down other characters. I will still do season 2 of Grab at some point, but I wanted to do something where I explored other characters. This series will look at characters that may or may not be a part of an archetype, but they stand out as they are odd. They may do something weird for a fighting game character, or have a weird design that's worth talking about. Now that you know the prep...
Where's my good video, Panda?
I mean, this is a new series, but I'm surprised you're even talking, if I'm honest.
At least you don't need to go over what a grappler does.
I suppose he's right. Let's get straight into it. Marvel vs. Capcom 3.
It's all coming up, buddy!
VC3 is a fantastic tag game with all your favourite icons from both Marvel and Capcom. You got Deadpool, Spider-Man, Ryu, Dante, Magneto and Jill. Some of the best characters from each series. This is still one of the best crossover fighting games of all time. Right next to things like CVS2. Not you! The game's very complicated. It has a 4-button attack system where you can link it from light, medium to heavy, and then S being mostly a launcher, some for more specials. You get a meter system that maxes up to 5, and you can only use this for supers or snapbacks. When making a team, you want to make a good stable team with a point being your first guy, a mid who sits second, and finally an anchor who holds your team down. With teammates you also get assists to choose from as well, which is pretty fun, giving a ton of creative setups. One unique mechanic to MVC3 was the X Factor comeback mechanic. It gets stronger with each teammate gone, and it boosts movement, damage, and recovers health over time. It was busted with a certain white-haired dweeb, but now that you know the basic mechanics, it's time for the journalist that has started odd. He's covered wars, you know. Frank West.
Here she is.
Marvel vs. Capcom 3. Discord population of at least 100. Honest fair mix-ups? Jack shit.
Alright, listen. Don't forget to come back for me.
As long as you're not dead, Fred.
It's Frank. Frank West.
Frank West is my dope, both from the series he's from and Marvel vs. Capcom 3. One of my childhood games was Dead Rising, so to see him in a fighting game and extremely well adapted, it brought a ton of joy as I try to make teams around him. Some may look at Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3 as an outsider and think characters like Frank West, Chris Redfield and Phoenix Wright are lame picks. I'm not these people. I love all of these games. This game was made for me. Too bad I suck at it. Frank fights using his weapons from Dead Rising 1 and actually some of Chuck's weapons from Dead Rising 2, ranging from chainsaws to pies, which already sells the versatility of Frank from the games. I won't go heavy into his story considering it's an entire game. Frank West is a photojournalist with the thought of, oh, I wonder what's going on with that mall. Head in there, thinking it's a riot or a protest, finds out it's infested with zombinos that have been going after people. Finding out the truth that this was actually revenge for a massive government cover-up, Frank fights his way out, defeating a sergeant who was in charge of the first attack that was covered up. He gets out and spreads the truth, but like all things that get out there, the government covers up and it fades into darkness. And now Frank is in Marvel vs. Capcom, starting beef with characters like Wolverine, Spider-Man and the Hulk. What an insane turn of events. Now that you know the man, now we've got to talk about the toolkit. Like Grab, I'll break down the toolkit so you understand what all of it does, but instead I'll also try to show you how unique and weird it is for somebody to have something like this in a fighting game. With enough thought, you'll understand what I'm talking about in terms of, yeah, it's weird for a fighting game character to have all this. Time for the toolkit. Frank West is a fairly standard character. There's nothing about his kit that seems that insane. Like, you've got varied things like slides, projectiles, and pressure tools. You can see he's a rushdown, but that's about it. His damage is low in combos and requires a bit of setup to get anything done. His health is above average as well, but he seems really mid. Like, he is a mid tier for some reason, but to start the game, he is a definite low tier, no arguing it. He has tools where you can throw a zombie to hold ground, or even the enemy to get in. You can also do a giant swing on a zombie, which is a very plus tool, but it's super slow. It lets him get in, but you gotta place it well with an assist. He does have a cool knee drop that's a great combo tool. It also gives weird cross-ups and option selects to do in the air, where you can either go for a throw if the opponent's tagged in, or tech an air throw, or still do the knee. Either or, super safe, not really a bad outcome with it. And obviously if it hits, you get a pickup. But as I mentioned earlier, low damage. The only reason to pick him seems to be for his super and assist. Shopping cart is a fantastic assist that holds screen space, and the super is just an enhanced shopping cart that does a solid chunk of damage. Doing a DHC, which is going between supers, it can be a solid pressure tool for other characters. His base kit has an overhead and a really good slide, but that's about the only thing in this kit that's amazing. Jab is slow and stubby, medium has reach, and that's about it. And heavy's just a combo filler tool, so why would you play Frank West? Well, he's covered wars, you know. So being a journalist, he has to get experience in the field to truly level up his photography game.
I've covered wars, you know.
Frank West is designed to be true to his games. He needs to take pictures to level up and gain access to stronger and new tools. It has to be one of my favourite adaptations on a crossover ever. Oh, Lucy and Guilty Gear Strive can do hacks and then that's about it. Frank West has to level up, take pictures, and he unlocks new tools and they become stronger and more interesting. It's genuinely fun trying to get to level 4. Level 5 is the max, but we'll talk a bit more about that later. Getting pictures required you to land a combo. The higher the combo count gets, the higher experience you get. Getting a 10-hit combo will give 10 experience when taking a picture. I can only imagine the conversation that publishers have with Frank West when it comes to his pictures.
Alright, Peter Parker, what you got?
I got pictures of Spider-Man.
Yeah. What about you, Hank East?
It's Frank. Frank West.
Sure, Frank, what you got?
I got pictures kicking the show, Spider-Man. It didn't actually go down like that. It wasn't that easy.
Peter Parker, you're fired. Hank, you're hired.
It's Frank. Frank West.
With experience comes levels. Getting 5 experience gets you to level 2, getting 20 gives you to level 3, getting 50 gets you to level 4, and Frank West will get an aura around him when he gets 100 experience, as this is the max level. Frank West can also double his XP by drinking down some vodka and just going for it. However, after 10 seconds he will throw up, so you need to tag him out before those 10 seconds run out. So what leveled up? Any attack that used weapons would change Frank to a massive degree. Medium goes from a decent poke to a very strong grounded poke that can stagger and cover huge range. This visually changes to tell the player that they're on level 1, 3 or 4, as shown with the chainsaws, bats and the plungers. Heavy goes from a damage tool to a damage tool. It kind of becomes a spam tool that can shred life bars on hit and pretty solid on block. Crouching medium also becomes a godlike poke for juggles and holding ground with the same changes. There's also one thing I neglected to mention: every normal gets chip damage as soon as he hits level 4. The chainsaws hit for a longer, allowing for chip sequences. It gets enhanced by X Factor, but what you need to keep in mind is that advancing guard is a good way to tell you, nah, you don't get to keep doing this. However, if they don't use it, it's chip central. Even Frank West's niche tools like launcher and all that get enhanced through the level mechanic. The projectile actually becomes a tool that has priority over some projectiles because it has 5 health. And to continue with the level mechanic, you get 3 moves that either get enhanced by level mechanic or 2 that are introduced from the level mechanic. Tools of survival is one of the ones that get enhanced. And every version of this tool should be seen is a different special move. Light goes from a combo tool with a ton of suction to a knockdown tool used in combos to a plus on block tool allowing for resets and longer hitting combos. Medium is just a wall bounce that gets easier to confirm with the higher the level becomes. And heavy becomes an overhead that gives combos on the final level. It becomes way harder to react to, going from 27 frames to 20. He unlocks 2 new skills at level 2 like I mentioned, one being the roundhouse and the other being roll. Roll is a pretty standard tool, but it comes with a lot of strengths. It has iframes on frame 1, so it acts like a roll from Dead Rising. It's also cancelable in the later part of it. Going from a super or other specials can be decent to mix people up, as roll passes through characters. Honestly, if you get this down, you can use it like a no-hit Dark Souls run. The other special was Roundhouse. The heavy version replaced Snapshot after you got to level 4 as a more damaging off the ground pickup. And Light was a fake out, so it was good for going for throw, but medium was ignored as it was just a -6 mid. Not a whole lot to note with it. I love this as it feels like you're playing Frank from Dead Rising, where you're aiming to level up to gain access to your tools, and your tools become better the more you level up. Honestly, the only thing you're missing is the voice line where he goes like, "Yeah!" That would have topped it off for me. Even his supers level up. One is a beatdown super that gets more damage and more invincibility on the startup the more you level it up. When level 3 kicks in, you unlock his godly super that can be used to command grab people out of the sky. Is this where I first fell in love with Heavenly? Probably. I mean, yours is better, but you gotta see where I started off, man. This was godly as you could create some unblockable setups of assist and snapbacks. Also, it just rewards catching those jumpers, and it gives a combo! Honestly, it was disgusting for layered mix-ups and catching people trying to escape. It's really good. And it only costs 1 bar. That was another strength Frank had. He didn't have any supers that cost 3 bars. And one of his weaknesses completely disappear the more you level up. The damage goes from insignificant to, oh my god, he can kill Nemesis. However, he had to work to catch people with insane aerial movement, as he had no tools in midair besides throwing out hitboxes and hoping for the best. But his grounded attacks were fantastic. He also is still an awkward character to make teams around. You wanted teams that would either hard tag into him or give him assist to make the combo number go higher. His best mates were Dante and Magneto for these plays. Zero was without a doubt one of the best for it as well, but Zero was just one of the best points in the game, so who saw that coming? Frank was played in mid to basically work with a lot of his teams, and it's kinda interesting that he's mid because that is the constant state he's in, right? Frank West is mid until he dies level 1 or levels up and wins. Again, I like Frank West in this game because he's designed to be played how you'd play Dead Rising. Well, not entirely, but you get what I mean. Using your tools to win in a fight and hold your ground to level up, making him go from garbage to broken. He's also a very weird character as he has to level up to be effective, and out of the entire Capcom roster, we chose the dude who is just a guy. He was a weird character for sure, but who made him work? Fizzy Cups was definitely one of the better Frank West players out there, with the team of Magneto and Dante and Big Man Frank. And my goodness, was he fun to watch on the character. He really understood what it takes to play Frank on mid and then try to level him up. Hell, this guy could win with level 1 if he really wanted to. But Frank West, yet again, was such an awesome character design, as he was a character designed to replicate how Dead Rising felt, to players that want to get through the game and level up. And I love this. Again, I think this is one of the best adaptations from game to fighting game. Phoenix Wright is up there, but for me it was Frank West. This is what pulled me in. And of course, this odd series, this was only the first chapter of it, and I had a lot of fun covering Frank West, as he is one of my absolute goats. However, I have no idea how to cover from here, because unlike grapplers, weird characters are kinda hard to figure out. Marvel is absolutely filled with them. But does Dan count? Is he a weird character? What about Birdie? Is he a weird character? That's the only problem I'm gonna have with the series, but I'm looking forward to diving into the odd characters for sure. If you guys enjoyed, be sure to like and subscribe and hype up the video. It would mean a ton. I don't really have any goals yet in terms of subscribers, but just checking out this video is honestly awesome enough. That'll be me, and I hope you guys enjoyed Frank West. Take care and have a good day. See ya.